Friedrich Engels was born on November 28, 1820, in a small town called Barmen in Germany. His family was wealthy. His father owned a big factory. Even though they had a lot of money, the family was strict. Engels was sent to different schools, but he didn't enjoy them. He didn't like studying the way his teachers taught. Instead, he loved reading books, especially about politics and history. When he was young, Engels moved to a big city called Manchester in England. It was a very busy place with lots of factories. Many people worked in these factories, and they worked very hard. Engels saw how badly the workers lived. They worked long hours for little money. Their homes were dirty, and they didn't have good food. Engels was shocked by this. In Manchester, Engels worked in a factory that his father owned. But he wasn't happy there. He didn't want to spend his life working for money. He wanted to change the world. He started to write about the problems he saw. Engels wrote about the poor conditions of the workers. He also wrote about how the rich people took advantage of the poor. He felt that this was wrong, and he wanted to do something to help. Engels met a man named Karl Marx. Marx was also very interested in how society worked. They became friends, and they spent a lot of time talking about politics. Together, they started to write books about how the world could be better. They believed that workers should have more rights and should not be treated like machines in factories. They also believed that the rich people who owned the factories were taking advantage of the poor workers. Engels and Marx believed that if workers worked together, they could change the system. One of the most famous books that Engels and Marx wrote together was called The Communist Manifesto. In this book, they explained that workers should fight for their rights. They said that the workers were the most important people in society because they made everything. But they were treated badly. Engels and Marx wanted workers to have more control over their lives and the things they made. They wanted to change the way society was built, and they thought that communism was the answer. After the book was published, many people began to read it. Some people agreed with Engels and Marx, and others did not. But the ideas in the book spread to many countries. Many workers started to think about how they could improve their lives. Engels and Marx worked together for many years, writing more books and speaking to workers. They believed that the future would be better if workers had power. Engels didn't just write about these ideas. He also helped spread them. He traveled to many countries to meet with workers and talk to them about how they could improve their lives. He helped organize meetings and protests. He wanted to show people that they didn't have to accept the way things were. He wanted them to know that they could change their lives if they worked together. Although Engels and Marx had different ways of looking at the world, they agreed on many things. They believed that capitalism, the system where rich people own factories and businesses, was bad. They thought it hurt the workers. They believed that communism, where everyone shares things equally, would make life better for everyone. Engels worked hard to explain these ideas to as many people as possible. Engels also helped many workers understand the problems in their lives. He showed them that the system they lived in was unfair. He helped them understand that the rich people, who owned the factories and businesses, were the ones who had all the power. Engels thought that if workers worked together, they could take this power away from the rich people and create a better world for themselves. In addition to his work with Marx, Engels wrote many books on his own. He wrote about the history of society and the development of different systems. He looked at how society had changed over time, and how the poor had always been treated badly by the rich. Engels also wrote about the importance of family and how the family system had changed through history. He was interested in how society affected people's lives, and he wanted to make things better for everyone. In his later years, Engels continued to work hard for his ideas. He helped spread the message of communism and worked with workers in different countries. Engels believed that the world could be better, but he also knew that it would take a lot of work to change things. He believed that workers should not just wait for change to happen. They needed to make it happen themselves. Friedrich Engels died on August 5, 1895, but his ideas lived on. His work with Marx had a big impact on the world. Many workers and political leaders continued to read his books and learn from his ideas. Engels and Marx's ideas were used to build movements for workers' rights in many countries. Some of these movements became very powerful and helped bring about important changes in society. Today, Friedrich Engels is remembered as an important figure in the history of politics. His ideas about workers' rights, equality, and communism continue to influence people around the world. Even though his work was controversial and not everyone agreed with him, many people still believe that his ideas were important in helping to make the world a better place. Engels worked his whole life to help improve the lives of workers, and his legacy continues to inspire people to fight for fairness and equality in society.